Hello everyone, myself Baudik Trivedi working as an assistant professor in IT/ICT department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. So I will explain you the concept of IP security in a advanced networking protocol subject. So first of all of you know IP, Internet Protocol, under the category of which particular layer. So already you know the concept of OSI layer. So OSI layer that support the 7 layer, start from the physical, then after the data link, then after the network, and then after all the upper layers. So Internet Protocol, that is the part of the network layer. After that, IP support how many type of version? So IP supported the two version, one that is the IPv4 and second one that is the IPv6. So here I talk about the concept of IPv6 and which kind of security, IP security, that's the part of that. So in this particular diagram, you just see here I explain you the scenario, and scenario means all of you know that's a one kind of sequence of events. So sequence of activities, that's the part of that. So in IP security scenario, so in this particular diagram you just see, first of all I talk about the concept of the internet. Whenever you talk about the internet, so at that time that can be considering as a public network. So whenever you talk about the network, so mainly two types of network here. One, either you consider the public network or you consider the private network. After that, in IP version 4 and IP version 6, all of you know, if I want to transmit a data in a form of the packet, and packet means that can be considering as an IP packet. So at that time that supporting one header and one payload. And payload means what? Payload means that nothing but that's a one kind of data. So here in this particular diagram, you just see either public network or private network. So that can be considering as an internet. And then after Ethernet switch. And then after the concept of networking device. And then after the concept of user system. So in this particular diagram, IP security scenario is generally divided into first one, that is the user system with IP security, second one that is the Ethernet switch, third one that is the networking device with IP security. So the mainly three parameters here, first one that is the user system, second one that is the Ethernet switch, and third one that is the networking device. After that, which kind of RAM, which kind of packet you pass here. So here you just see that is divided into three components. Here in this particular first diagram you just see first one that is the IP header, second one that is the IP security header, and third one that is the secure IP payload. Means this particular frame structure or this particular structure supported the three. First one that is the IP header, second one that is the IP security header, and third one that is the secure IP payload. After that, in between the communication between the Ethernet switch and networking devices, that supported the two types. One that is known as the IP header and second one that is the IP payload. So according to this diagram, according to this, if you want to communicate between the Ethernet switch and networking devices, so that is generally divided into two components. One that is the IP header and second one that is the IP payload. After that, if I want to communicate between the private public network or networking devices, so at that time that is divided into three components. First one that is known as a IP payload, second one that is the IP security packet, and third one that is the payload. So this is the way you can directly demonstrate the concept of IP security scenario. Must remember one thing, important parameters for the IP security scenario, that's the most important thing, 3. So must remember the name of that. After that, what's the benefits of the IP security? So first one, provide strong security for external traffic. So first of all, what is the difference between internal traffic and external traffic? So internal traffic means what? Whatever the network you establish in between, whatever the transmission of the packets, that can be considering as a internal traffic. External traffic means what? That can be the outside the autonomous system. So IP security directly providing the proper security, strong security to external traffic also. Second one, resistance to bypass. What is the meaning of bypass? Bypass means, all of you know, if you directly creating a one path and you directly jump from one router to another router. So in between, for example, 3 to 4 routers are there and not providing a communication for this particular 4 router. So that can be considering as a bypass concept in networking. After that, transparent to application. So what is the meaning of transparent to application here? Because that's the concept of the whatever the transport layer that supported the transparent to application, and the most important benefits of the IP security, that is very transparent to end users also. And the last one, you can apply the security to a particular individual user if needed. So these all are the benefits for the IP security. After that, what's the function behind that? IP security functions. If I want to categorize the IP security functions, so I can directly categorize into 4. First one, that is known as a authentication header. Here you just see whatever the list out. First one, that is the authentication header. Second one, that is the ESP. What is the meaning of ESP here? ESP means encapsulating the security payload. Third one, that is known as a key exchange function. And fourth one, that is known as a VPN. What is the meaning of VPN in network? Virtual Private Network. Virtual Private Network. So IP security function fully focus on 4 parameters. First one, that is the authentication. Second one, that is the encapsulation. Third one, that is the key exchange. And fourth one, that is the virtual private network. After that, authentication header supported which kind of functionality? So that supported the 2 functionality. One, that is known as a authentication, and second one, that is known as a integrity. What is the meaning of that? Authentication means what? Integrity means what? Authentication means what? What is the meaning of authentication here? Whenever you providing the proper user ID and password, you directly log in into the system. So that can be considered as a authentication concept. But what about the integrity? Sender sending a data, receiver receiving the data, and whatever the data in between, that remains intact. So you can directly say that the integrity is maintained. But in between, if you directly change the data, so that is known as integrity is violated in a networking part also, in a security part also. After that, encapsulating security payload. That supported the privacy. How you apply the privacy in a security? Either you apply the authentication, or you apply the integrity, or you apply the encryption. What is the meaning of encryption? You directly pass the plain text, then after you apply the encryption algorithm on that. You applying the symmetric key concept. Whatever you generate, that is known as a ciphertext. After receiving the ciphertext, again you apply the decryption algorithm plus key. Whatever you receive, that is known as a plain text. But whenever you talk about the encryption, decryption in a security, so must remember one thing, either using the symmetric key or asymmetric key. What is the meaning of symmetric key here? Symmetric key means sender and receiver using the same key, and asymmetric key means what? Sender using the different key, receiver using the different key. For the encryption purpose, using the public key. For the decryption purpose, using the private key. Or for the encryption purpose, using the private key. And decryption purpose, using the public key. After that, key exchange function. That is also a part of the security. And last one, virtual private network. So this all concept, that's the part of IP security functions or functions of the IP security. After that, the most important 2 points remaining in IP security. First one, that is known as the authentication header. So here you just see in this particular diagram the authentication header. So first of all of you know, first one, that is the IP header. Here you just see in this particular figure, that is the IP header. After that, that is known as a AH. What is the meaning of AH here? AH means that is known as a authentication header. How I distribute the authentication header into different level, so that's the diagram for that. So first one, I am talking about the packet or data. So that is directly divided into 4 parts. First one, that is known as a IP header. Second one, that is known as a authentication header. Third one, that is known as a rest of the original packet. And fourth one, that is known as a padding. This is the overall data structure. But after that, I directly distribute or derive the authentication header into the different parts. So that's the diagram for that. First one, 8 bits belongs to next header, and all of you know, already I discussed in a IPv6 format what is the meaning of next header field. Whenever you assign the value is equal to this, so it directly either for the TCP or UDP or whatever. After that, 8 bits belongs to payload length. Payload length means all of you know that's a one kind of data length. And whatever the remaining 16 bits, that is generally used for the reserve for the future use. After that, security parameter index. One important parameters here, that is known as a security parameter index, and the next one, that is the sequence number. So this is the authentication header field, means which kind of parameter you set for the particular authentication. So at that time you assigning the index value for that, and sequence number means one kind of response thing. So whatever the sequence number for this particular packet transmission. And last one, that is the authentication data. Authentication data, that's not a fixed length data, that's the variable length data that directly depend on the particular packet value. So this is the structure of the authentication header. Means if I want to establish the authentication header within a packet, so how I establish this thing? So that's the concept of that, and that's the diagram for that. After that, encapsulating security payload. So encapsulating security payload means what? So here you just see encapsulating security payload. So first one, that is the IP header. After that, whatever the authenticated data. So authenticated data is generally divided into 3 parts here. Authenticated data, and then after it divided into 3 parts. So in this particular diagram you just see one that is known as a ESP header, one that is known as a ESP trailer, and in between whatever that is known as a rest of the payload, means that is known as a one kind of payload, means data. So again, fully focus on this particular diagram. Whatever the diagram of the authentication header is there, that remain as it is. First one, that is the IP header. After that, that is divided into the ESP header, then after the payload, then after the ESP trailer, and then after the authenticated data. But must remember one thing, ESP header and ESP trailer again containing a 32-bit data. So 32 bits for the ESP header, 32 bits for the ESP trailer. ESP header supported which particular field, because that's the part of the authentication header also. So ESP header is divided into 2 fields. One, that is the security parameter index, and second one, that is the sequence number. And these 2 fields, that's the part of the authentication header also. ESP trailer, that supported only one, that is the padding, and padding that supported the 2 fields also. Either you establish the pad length that contain the 8 bits, and that's the next header that also contain the 8 bits. And then after whatever the remaining, that is known as a authentication data. Again fully focus on this. whatever the rest of the payload, whatever the ESP trailer, you apply the encryption on that, means whatever the data that is in a form of encrypted data. So that's all about the concept of IP security. Thank you for watching.